First contact and rising tensions. The vast emptiness of space enveloped the EDS Defiance as it glided silently through the outskirts of the Sol system. Captain Elena Vasquez stood on the bridge, her dark eyes reflecting the distant stars as they twinkled against the void. The massive vessel represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, Earth's first true interstellar warship. Though officially classified as a deep space exploration vessel, everyone aboard knew its true purpose. Status report, Captain Vasquez commanded, her voice steady and clear in the quiet atmosphere of the bridge. Lieutenant Commander Jackson Chen looked up from his console. All systems nominal, Captain. Quantum drives operating at 98% efficiency. Defensive systems on standby. We're approaching the Jupiter monitoring station in approximately 17 minutes. Vasquez nodded. The Defiance was unprecedented in human history, a testament to the unified efforts of Earth's nations after decades of political strife. The ship stretched nearly 1 kilometer in length, its sleek dark hull absorbing rather than reflecting light, making it appear like a moving shadow against the stars. What made the vessel truly remarkable wasn't its size, but what lay beneath its unassuming exterior. Captain, the communications officer, Ensign Amara Okafor, called out suddenly. We're detecting unusual radiation signatures at the edge of our sensor range. Pattern doesn't match anything in our database. The bridge fell silent as tension rippled through the crew. This was supposed to be a routine shakedown cruise, the final test before the Defiance officially joined Earth's nascent defense fleet. Put it on screen, Vasquez ordered, straightening her uniform jacket. The main view screen flickered to life, displaying what at first appeared to be a distortion in space, a wavering, lens-like effect that bent the light of distant stars. Then, as if emerging from nowhere, shapes began to materialize. First one, then 3, then 7 vessels of alien design, their hulls organic and flowing like liquid metal frozen in time. My God, Chief Engineer Dmitry Sokolov whispered from his station. Those are ships. The alien vessels were smaller than the Defiance, but moved with unnatural precision, arranging themselves in a perfect formation. Their hulls shimmered with iridescent patterns that seemed to pulse like heartbeats. Shields up. Bring weapons systems to standby, Vasquez ordered calmly. Lieutenant Rivera, alert Earth Defense Command. Ensign Okafor, open all communication channels. The bridge crew responded with practiced efficiency, though the tension in the air was palpable. Humanity had long wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now, on the first extended voyage of their most advanced vessel, they had their answer. Unknown vessels, this is Captain Elena Vasquez of the Earth Deep Space Vessel Defiance. We are on a peaceful mission within our home system. Please identify yourselves. For several long moments, there was nothing but silence. Then, the view screen flickered, and an image appeared of a being unlike anything the crew had ever seen. Its body appeared vaguely humanoid, but with translucent skin revealing swirling patterns of luminescent fluids beneath. Multiple sets of eyes, some large, some small, studded its elongated face, and where a mouth should be, there was only a cluster of small, undulating tendrils. We are the Voidborn Collective, the being spoke, its voice resonating through the bridge speakers with an unsettling harmony of multiple tones speaking as one. Your presence has been noted. Your technological advancement is unexpected. Captain Vasquez maintained her composure, though she felt a chill run down her spine. We welcome peaceful contact with your species. Our mission is exploration and deception is unnecessary. The Voidborn representative interrupted. Your vessel's design indicates defensive capabilities. We have observed your kind for some time. Your rapid technological evolution poses questions. Chen whispered to Vasquez. Captain, they're scanning us, attempting to penetrate our systems. Block it, she replied quietly before addressing the alien again. We have no hostile intentions, but we will protect our privacy and security. Perhaps we could arrange a proper diplomatic meeting to establish peaceful relations. The alien's fluid-filled body rippled, its tendrils writhing more rapidly. The Voidborn Collective does not seek diplomacy with developing species. We seek assessment, classification. Your species has advanced from planetary confinement to interstellar capability in less than 2 of your centuries. This acceleration is concerning. Chief Science Officer Dr. Maya Lakshmi stepped forward. Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy buildups in their vessels. I don't think this is just a first contact scenario. Vasquez nodded almost imperceptibly. Our advancement comes from our diversity and creativity. We would value learning from your civilization as well. Learning is not required, the Voidborn stated flatly. Your species will be classified. If deemed stabilizing, incorporation will proceed. If deemed destabilizing, containment protocols will be implemented. The implications were clear, and Vasquez's diplomatic expression hardened. I believe there's been a misunderstanding. Earth and humanity are sovereign. We do not submit to classification or incorporation by any outside power. The alien's many eyes blinked in sequence. Sovereignty is a concept relevant only among equals. The collective has guided the development of 17 star systems. Species that resist balance are contained for the harmony of all. As the conversation progressed, Lieutenant Commander Hiroshi Tanaka, the tactical officer, was quietly analyzing the alien vessels. He slid a data pad toward the captain with his findings. The Voidborn ships were indeed powerful, equipped with energy weapons far beyond Earth's capabilities and shielding that would make them nearly impervious to conventional attacks. Captain, he whispered, their weapons could vaporize a small moon. But there's something strange about their hull composition. It seems to absorb energy at specific frequencies. Vasquez absorbed this information while maintaining her diplomatic facade. Perhaps we could arrange a cultural exchange as a first step. Surely understanding precedes classification. Understanding is complete, the Voidborn responded. Your species exhibits signs of unchecked ambition and dangerous innovation. Your vessels carry primitive but effective weapons. You advance without guidance. The collective must evaluate whether containment is necessary. Dr. Lakshmi whispered urgently, Captain, I'm detecting transmissions between their vessels and somewhere beyond our system. I think they're calling for reinforcements. Vasquez knew she needed to buy time. Before any decisions are made, we should consult with Earth's full leadership council. This meeting was unexpected, and proper protocols should be followed. The alien's tendrils ceased moving entirely for a moment, a gesture impossible to interpret. We will evaluate your central authority. The collective will proceed to your homeworld. Your vessel will escort us. The captain's eyes narrowed slightly. I'm afraid that's not possible without proper arrangements. Earth's defense protocols require. Compliance is not requested. It is expected. The alien's voice took on a harder edge. Your vessel will navigate to Earth, or it will be neutralized. The collective will proceed regardless. The communication abruptly terminated, leaving the bridge in tense silence. They're powering weapons systems, Tanaka reported grimly. Captain Vasquez stood from her chair, her decision already made. Send Emergency Protocol Omega to Earth Defense Command. All hands to battle stations. Mr. Chen, prepare for emergency quantum jump to Rally Point Thermopylae. The crew moved with urgent purpose, the ship's alert system bathing the bridge in red light. Captain, Sokolov objected, the quantum drive isn't rated for in-system jumps. The gravitational interference could tear us apart. It's a calculated risk, Chief, Vasquez replied. If those ships reach Earth before we can prepare, there won't be much left to defend. As the Defiance's systems powered up for the dangerous jump, the tactical display showed the alien vessels moving to intercept them. They're targeting our propulsion systems, Tanaka warned. Impact in 15 seconds. Vasquez gripped the arms of her command chair. Execute jump now. The universe seemed to bend around them as the quantum drive engaged, tearing a hole in conventional space. The last thing they saw before the jump completed was brilliant beams of energy cutting through the space they had occupied only milliseconds before. When reality reasserted itself, the Defiance was deep within the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, hidden among the tumbling rocks and drifting ice. "Damage report," Vasquez demanded, steadying herself as emergency systems stabilized. "Minor hull breaches on decks 7 and 12. Quantum drive offline. It'll need extensive recalibration." "But we made it, Captain," Chen reported with visible relief. "For now," Vasquez replied grimly. "Ensign Okafor, status of our transmission to Earth." "Confirmed received, Captain. Earth Defense Command is mobilizing, but against that level of technology." Vasquez moved to the tactical display where Tanaka was analyzing the encounter data. "We need options, people. The Voidborn Collective clearly intends to either subjugate or contain humanity. We need to understand their weaknesses." Dr. Lakshmi joined them, her tablet displaying analysis of the alien physiology and technology. "Their biology suggests an evolution in deep space environments, possibly explaining their name. Their technology appears to be based on energy manipulation rather than physical mechanics, which might explain why they seem dismissive of our primitive systems," Sokolov added. "They're expecting energy weapons, phasers, lasers, plasma cannons, things they can defend against." A thoughtful expression crossed Tanaka's face. "What about Project Hammerfall?" Vasquez looked at him sharply. "That's still theoretical. We haven't even tested the prototypes." "With respect, Captain, that's not entirely accurate," Chief Engineer Sokolov interjected. "The Defiance was designed with Hammerfall integration in mind. The systems are installed, just not activated." The captain stared at her chief engineer. "You installed untested, theoretical weapons on my ship without authorization." Sokolov had the grace to look abashed. "Joint Chief's authorization, Captain. Need-to-know basis. I needed to know. You didn't, until now." Vasquez took a deep breath, controlling her frustration. "Explain Hammerfall. Quickly." Dr. Lakshmi pulled up the schematics. "Simply put, it's a kinetic bombardment system using engineered tungsten rods. No explosive components, just pure kinetic energy. When dropped from orbit or accelerated to significant velocities, the impact energy rivals nuclear weapons without the radiation." "Old school," Chen commented. "Like dropping rocks on your enemy from a castle wall, just at relativistic speeds." "And we have these aboard?" Vasquez asked. 500 rods, each 9 meters long, 1 meter in diameter. Made of tungsten with a reinforced carbon-carbon composite shell. Sokolov confirmed. The Defiance can launch them with precise targeting at up to 30% of light speed. Captain Vasquez walked slowly back to her command chair, weighing the implications. The Voidborn would expect energy weapons, shields, advanced technology. They wouldn't be looking for what amounts to very fast, very heavy spears. "Primitive but effective," Tanaka quoted the alien with grim satisfaction. The captain made her decision. "Activate Hammerfall. Lieutenant Chen, plot a course that will keep us hidden in the asteroid belt, but give us firing solutions on their approach vector to Earth. We can't outgun them, but we might be able to surprise them." As the crew rushed to prepare, Vasquez opened a channel to Earth Defense Command to explain their desperate plan. The Voidborn thought humans were predictable, that they relied on technology they barely understood. They were about to learn that humans excelled at using whatever tools were at hand. And sometimes the oldest, simplest solutions were the most effective. The hunt was on, and the Defiance would live up to its name. The unconventional defense. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter had served as humanity's mining frontier for decades, but now it provided something far more valuable: cover. The EDS Defiance drifted silently among the tumbling rocks, its advanced stealth systems rendering it nearly invisible to conventional sensors. Captain Elena Vasquez stood at the tactical display, studying the holographic projection of the approaching Voidborn fleet. 7 ships initially, Tanaka reported, but our long-range sensors are detecting 11 more entering the system. They're converging on Earth's orbit. Dr. Lakshmi pointed to energy readings from the alien vessels. They're communicating constantly. I believe they function as a true collective, each ship an extension of their shared consciousness rather than individual vessels. Which means they'll coordinate perfectly, Vask has noted, but might also share vulnerabilities. Any progress on the Hammerfall systems? Chief Engineer Sokolov nodded, his face illuminated by the blue glow of his engineering console. The launching mechanisms are operational. We've run 3 simulations. If the targeting calculations are correct, we can deploy with 94% accuracy. That leaves 6% uncertainty with untested weapons against an overwhelmingly superior force, Chen observed dryly. I like those odds. Despite the grim situation, a few nervous chuckles broke the tension on the bridge. Humans had always relied on gallows humor in desperate times. Earth Defense Command reports all available vessels are mobilizing. Ensign Okafor announced. Planetary shield generators are at maximum capacity, but analysis suggests they won't hold against sustained bombardment from the void-borne weaponry. Captain Vasquez straightened her uniform jacket, a habitual gesture when making difficult decisions. We can't match them in direct combat, but we don't need to. We just need to disrupt their coordination and create enough chaos to negotiate from a position of strength. She turned to Dr. Lakshmi. You said their hull composition absorbs energy at specific frequencies. Have you determined which frequencies pass through? The science officer brought up detailed scans. Their shielding appears to filter out the entire electromagnetic spectrum above microwave frequencies. They're designed to protect against energy weapons, radiation, even most forms of scanning. But not physical impacts, Vasquez concluded. Precisely, Lakshmi confirmed. Their hulls are remarkably resilient against energy attacks, but show standard mass displacement properties when interacting with solid matter. In simple terms, they can be hit. Sokolov added, the Hammerfall rods will strike with approximately 57 kilotons of force each, comparable to a tactical nuclear weapon, but with no radiation or electromagnetic pulse. Vasquez studied the tactical display, her mind calculating, weighing options. Lieutenant Commander Tanaka, if we were to deploy the rods on this trajectory, she traced a path through the hologram. Could we hit multiple targets simultaneously? Tanaka ran the calculations. Difficult but possible. We'd need perfect timing and... He paused, eyes widening slightly. Wait, if we use the gravitational influence of Mars to alter the trajectory mid-flight, we could potentially target all 7 of their advanced ships with a single synchronized volley. That would require precise calculations and perfect execution, Chen warned. Then we'd better get it right the first time, Vasquez replied firmly, because we won't get a second chance. As the crew prepared the audacious plan, Earth's defensive fleet took position around the planet. It was an impressive sight. 27 vessels representing the combined might of humanity's space forces. Yet compared to the approaching alien armada, they appeared woefully outmatched. The void-borne fleet has entered Mars orbit, Okafor reported. They're maintaining perfect formation. No signs they've detected us. All Hammerfall systems are ready, Sokolov confirmed. Launching mechanisms pressurized. Targeting solutions locked. Captain Vasquez took her seat in the command chair. Send coded transmission to Earth Defense Command. Operation Falling Star commences in 3 minutes. All ships to maintain defensive posture only until our strike confirms effectiveness. The bridge fell silent as the countdown began. The Defiance's position among the asteroids had been carefully calculated, invisible to the void-borne sensors, but with a clear launching vector for the kinetic rods. 30 seconds, Chen announced quietly. Vasquez felt the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders. If this failed, Earth would face subjugation or worse. The Voidborn clearly believed in their right to determine which species deserved freedom and which required containment. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Launch. The Defiance shuddered slightly as the first volley of 20 hammerfall rods launched from concealed bays along its hull. Each massive tungsten projectile was initially propelled by electromagnetic accelerators before onboard guidance systems activated, sending them on precisely calculated trajectories toward Mars. First stage separation confirmed, Tanaka reported as the rod's booster sections detached, leaving the dense tungsten penetrators racing toward their targets. Gravitational slingshot in 30 seconds. On the tactical display, the tiny dots representing the hammerfall rods curved gracefully around the red planet, using its gravity to accelerate further and alter their course. The maneuver also disguised their origin, making them appear to come from deeper in the solar system rather than from the Defiance's position. The Voidborn are detecting something, Okafor warned. Their communication patterns just spiked. Too late, Tanaka replied with grim satisfaction. Impact in 10 seconds. The bridge crew watched in tense silence as the rods, now traveling at a significa. The bridge crew watched in tense silence as the rods, now traveling at a significant fraction of light speed, closed on their targets. The alien vessels began evasive maneuvers, but the projectiles were moving too fast to track effectively. The tactical display flashed as the first impacts registered. One by one, the Voidborn vessels were struck with devastating force. The kinetic energy transferred instantaneously, overwhelming shields designed to diffuse energy weapons rather than stop physical objects. Direct hits on 5 vessels, Tanaka reported, unable to keep the excitement from his voice. 2 partial impacts. 3 enemy ships have disintegrated. The remaining 4 show significant damage. The view screen displayed the aftermath, where moments before there had been 7 perfectly positioned alien ships, now there was chaos. Debris scattered across Mars' orbit, and the surviving vessels moved erratically, their formations broken. They're confused, Dr. Lakshmi observed, monitoring their communications. I don't think they even understand what hit them. Their transmissions indicate distress. Captain Vasquez allowed herself one moment of satisfaction before focusing on the next phase. Signal Earth Defense Command. Stage 1 successful. Prepare for Stage 2. Lieutenant Chen, plot course for Earth orbit. Full speed. The Defiance's engines roared to life, propelling the vessel out of hiding and toward the homeworld. Their element of surprise was spent, but they had demonstrated a critical weakness in the supposedly superior Voidborn technology. The main Voidborn fleet has halted its advance, Okafor reported. They're holding position just beyond lunar orbit. They're reassessing, Vasquez said. They didn't expect resistance that could actually hurt them. Open a communication channel. Let's see if they're willing to talk now. The view screen flickered, and the same alien representative appeared, though its fluid-filled body now pulsed with faster, more chaotic patterns. The cluster of tendrils around its mouth region writhed agitatedly. Your attack was unanticipated, the Voidborn stated, its harmonious voice now discordant. Primitive kinetic weapons should not have penetrated our defenses. Sometimes the oldest solutions are the most effective, Vasquez replied calmly. The Voidborn Collective has encountered 17 civilizations, but humanity is unlike any you've faced before. We don't rely solely on advanced technology. We use whatever works. The alien's multiple eyes blinked in disjointed sequence. Your species employs chaos as strategy. This is disturbing. We call it adaptability, Vasquez corrected. And we have adapted 500 more kinetic penetrators, all targeted at your remaining vessels. We also have other weapons you haven't seen yet. This was a bluff. The Defiance had expended a significant portion of its hammerfall arsenal in the first strike, but the captain kept her expression confident. Additionally, she continued, Earth's surface now has 2,000 ground-based launchers with similar capabilities. If the collective attempts to approach our world, the losses will be substantial. The alien was silent for several moments, its body rippling with internal communication. The collective must reconsider classification parameters. Your species employs technology we deemed obsolete centuries ago, yet you have weaponized it effectively. Dr. Lakshmi whispered to Vasquez. They're genuinely confused. Their entire strategy of conquest relies on technological superiority. They don't know how to respond when primitive weapons prove effective. Vasquez nodded slightly before addressing the alien again. The collective has two options: withdraw from our system immediately, recognizing Earth and all its colonies as sovereign territory, or face destruction. We have no interest in your incorporation or containment. Extinction is the alternative to collective guidance, the Voidborn mourned, though its tone lacked its former certainty. We'll take our chances, Vasquez responded firmly. Humanity has faced extinction-level events before. We're still here. The question is, will the Voidborn collective risk similar losses for a single unimportant system? The communication abruptly terminated. For tense minutes, the bridge crew watched as the alien fleet remained motionless beyond lunar orbit. They're reassessing their entire strategy, Dr. Lakshmi observed, analyzing their communication patterns. I believe they function on consensus. Our resistance has created division within their collective consciousness. Let's give them something else to consider, Vasquez decided. Mr. Sokolov, are we in range for a demonstration strike? The chief engineer nodded. We can launch a single rod on a visible trajectory that will pass close to their formation without hitting anything. Show them what we could do without actually doing it. Make it happen, the captain ordered. Moments later, a single hammerfall rod launched from the Defiance, its propulsion systems deliberately overcharged to create a visible plasma trail as it accelerated toward the Voidborn fleet before deliberately veering away at the last moment. The message was clear. We could have hit you, but chose not to. Their fleet is moving, Tanaka reported with disbelief. They're retreating, accelerating away from Earth orbit. The bridge erupted in cheers as the tactical display confirmed the alien withdrawal. The massive Voidborn vessels were indeed pulling back, abandoning their position around Earth's moon and setting course for the outer solar system. They're sending a final transmission, Okafor announced. The alien appeared once more on screen. The collective withdraws to reconsider. Your species will be reclassified as hazardous/unpredictable. This system will be marked exclusion zone. No further contact will be initiated. Before Vasquez could respond, the transmission ended. The tactical display showed the Voidborn fleet accelerating rapidly, soon disappearing from sensor range altogether. The bridge fell silent as the reality of what they had accomplished settled in. Humanity had faced its first interstellar threat and survived, not through superior technology, but through ingenuity and the willingness to use unconventional solutions. Send word to Earth Defense Command, Vasquez ordered quietly. The immediate threat has passed, but we should maintain alert status and recommend immediate production of additional hammerfall systems for all Earth vessels. As the crew carry out her orders, Captain Vasquez moved to the viewport, gazing out at the distant blue sphere of Earth. The Voidborn had been right about one thing. Humanity was advancing rapidly, perhaps too rapidly for their own safety. They had drawn attention before they were truly ready for the dangers of the wider galaxy. Captain, Dr. Lakshmi approached, holding a data pad. Preliminary analysis suggests the Voidborn will honor their withdrawal. Their psychology appears to function on absolute consensus, and our unpredictability disrupts their decision-making process. So they're afraid of us, Vasquez concluded. In a manner of speaking, the science officer agreed. They cannot categorize us within their existing framework. We use advanced technology alongside primitive solutions. We function as individuals but coordinate collectively when needed. We've demonstrated both restraint and willingness to use lethal force. We're a paradox to them, Chen observed, joining the conversation. Vasquez nodded thoughtfully. Then perhaps that's our greatest strength. While they were busy evolving into their perfect collective, they lost something essential: the chaos that drives innovation. She turned back to her crew, determination in her eyes. Earth Defense Command wants us to continue our mission, push further into space, find out what else is waiting for us out there. The Voidborn won't be the only advanced species we encounter. With all due respect, Captain, Sokolov interjected, our first encounter nearly led to our destruction. Perhaps we should focus on building our defenses before exploring further. That's exactly what the Voidborn would expect, Vasquez countered. They believe they've contained us by marking our system as an exclusion zone. But humanity has never accepted boundaries. Not on Earth, not in our solar system, and not in the stars. She returned to